Well, I thought the earlier comments of Chairman Ross about independence, that's such a key word in this, and the organization, and then the fact that we've got to establish one with the other on this commission, that in spite of skepticism about the public process, about people in public life, this can be important work. I mean, we're talking about things for the future, not just going back and correcting a salary discrepancy. That's the way I see it. I speak for myself on that. I don't speak for the whole commission. But it's a unique opportunity to do something of public good for the citizens.
I've heard some legislators say that raising salaries would prevent situations like Mark Darr, Martha Schaffner, those in elected positions, from doing those things because they'll have more money. Do you think that could be attributed to that?
Well, let me answer it this way. First, I think that the public sense that so many people in public life are doing misdeeds or outright criminal, that is so misguided. The majority of these people out here serving this legislature and the support staffs around it, the lobbyists, other people, are good, hard-working public officials. They do it because they love their state and they love public service. I happen to believe that. But having said that, disparity of income and putting people, especially from out of town, and they're trying their best because they want to keep that job, they need the job, they love the job, and puts them in a financial bind. It's not an excuse. It's not an excuse for misbehavior. It's not an excuse for crime. It's not an excuse for fraud. But it's oftentimes a good explanation of what originates the thought process in people's minds that, hey, maybe I can just cheat on this per diem. Maybe I can show up for a meeting and I really have no reason to show up other than I can collect some extra income. Parts of the system appear to be, at least from my perspective, the legislature's telling us we need help to fix something. And we want some citizens to come in here and kind of help us along to fix it and set it right. That doesn't necessarily mean everybody's going up, or everybody's staying the same, or everybody's going down. That's just my 2 cents worth. Sorry to be so verbose.
Why did you focus on initially on the governors and AG's salaries? Have you talked to the people that have those offices or are going to have those offices?
No, not at all. What I have done though is I've looked at some of the blogs, and I'm not a big blogger. And one of the blogs is I think is are you Tolbert?
No, I'm done.
Okay,
Tolbert's right there.
He's right here.
There you are. Okay, I thought it was extremely educational on what the salaries are. I think you put the salaries in there, as I recall, and in the different areas from which you drew that information. And what I was trying to do is to say, look, let's categorize here in the interest of efficiency and simplicity and zero in on what are the most important disparities that we see right now. I thought Governor and Attorney General was very important. I didn't mean to single them out as if they deserve special attention. That's why I struck my remarks. I thought that Mitch had a better idea about how we should do it. You follow what I'm saying? In other words,
because people are going to interpret that. You brought up the first two that you said that they would appear to be the most disparities. So people are going to interpret that to mean that was your priority.
As a lawyer, obviously, I know something about the Attorney General's office, and I know something about how important that office is to state government. And we as citizens are here because we're trying to decide how to make things better for the future. That's really what it's about. It's not about fixing something from the past as much as it is for the future. So I've got some ideas of my own as a citizen. I think the Attorney General is probably one of the most underpaid of all comparable Attorney Generals in the area, and I base a lot of that upon his study. But I'm going to obviously not make up my mind until I see and hear what we get by way of information. I know I was taught more than what you asked, but there you have it.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Based on the comments in there, just to make sure I understand. So you're working on the assumption that the initial review, the February 2nd date, doesn't need to include doesn't need to include the adjustments.
Well, it took me 3 turns at it to figure it out, but as I understand it now, I know what the Constitution says, the amendment says. It says you review. Then you establish whether or not salary should be adjusted one way or the other. Then you have public comment. I think we review, we can do it simply, and then we can say we're done. Now we're going to step 2. Here's what we found. This is what the salaries are. Now we're going to the next phase. I thought everybody agreed that that's clearly what we're going to do, but maybe I'm wrong.
When do you think you'll
I
get
was
the-
concerned when I made that remark about, let's take these 2, let's get simple. I was concerned we were just going to all, just jump in here and pile and start trying to figure this all out and start in with per diem and you know what I'm saying? We can do this in a simple way, and I think we're going to get it pretty fast. I think people are going to be pleased.
Do you think that frees you up? That frees you up. All a lot of folks had before talked about that February 2nd date kind of bearing down the fact that it only has to be a review.
Absolutely. I mean, most of us still work for a living, and that's that would be a big load between now and February. It would be to me almost unrealistic to think we can get all that done and do it in a thorough, comprehensive, transparent manner. That's what's required of us by the Constitution, as I understand it. The public needs to know, you folks need to know, and you need to have some satisfaction with doing it just the right way.
What
We're
is
not
the
just doing
realistic
knee-jerk.
timeline?
Man, yeah, it'd be hard to say. I'm so new on this but from what I heard today, I could see us taking 6 months, possibly even a full year. I don't know. I hate to say anybody. The way I see this is that even though the term is 4 years, we ought to all be thinking in terms of doing good, thorough work, doing it openly and honestly, working ourselves out of any reason to meet until the following year and then go home. We don't need to be up here every 2 weeks